At my wedding reception, my sister dumped red wine on my white dress, grabbed the microphone, and screamed, "She thinks she's better than everyone else." My mom rushed to her and whispered, "Sweetheart, it's okay. Weddings are emotional." I stood there, soaked and silent while everyone stared. By sunrise, my sister's screams woke the entire block. My sister Kayla has always treated attention like oxygen. I planned my life. She drifted from job to job, always one bad vibe away from quitting. And every time she crashed, someone paid for it. Usually me. For years, I covered just this once: bills, rent, phone, random emergency Venmo requests that never came back. When I got promoted, she called it luck. When I got engaged, she looked at my ring and asked if it was real. Still, I put her front row at my wedding. The reception was smooth, drinks flowing, cake knife waiting, people laughing like they meant it. Kayla walked up with a wine glass and this tiny, unreadable smile. Then she tilted the glass. Red wine hit my chest. Next, it ran down the silk. Then the room gasped. After that, she snatched the mic. Again, she smiled proud, and she yelled, "She thinks she's better than all of us." The music died. The dance floor froze. My husband stayed glued to my side, furious but quiet. My mom soothed Kayla like she'd been wronged, and my dad escorted her out like she was fragile. I was the one holding a towel to my own dress. We left early. That night, I opened my laptop and pulled up every payment I'd ever made for Kayla. I highlighted it all and totaled it. I titled the file, Consequences. At 4:50 a.m., I drove to my parents' street. Kayla's car was out front, packed like she planned to ghost the fallout. The doors weren't even locked. I grabbed her suitcase, purse, makeup bag, everything, and relocated it to my living room. Her phone was unlocked. The texts were nasty. She called me a spoiled brat who bought my husband and cheated my way through life. I wasn't hurt. I was done. At 5:42 a.m., she showed up outside my place in pajamas, barefoot on concrete, screaming like I'd robbed her. "Open the door! You're insane!" Neighbors watched. I let her voice crack before I moved. When I finally opened the door, she stormed in, calling me a thief and threatening the police. I didn't argue. I slid a chair toward her and waited until she sat. Then I slid the printed statements across the table. Highlighted lines, dates, amounts. Her face drained as she flipped page after page. I said, "You owe me all of it." She did this dry fake laugh and said I was ruining her life over a dress. I kept my voice flat. "This isn't about a dress. This is about you using me for years." Then I cut the cord. "No more money, no more bailouts. I'm not your backup plan." I handed her stuff back. Purse, phone, suitcase. I even handed back the cash she'd stashed for a trip, but I snapped a photo first. "If you blow this before you find work, I'm sending it to mom and dad." She left without another word. A week later, she tried to flip the story to our parents. I expected my mom to fold like always. She didn't. My parents came to my house alone, and my mom said it clean. "You did the right thing." My dad admitted they'd been enabling Kayla to keep the peace, and all they'd really done was teach her there were no consequences. They told Kayla the same thing the next morning. She moved out days later. Kayla got a retail job she used to mock. She stopped asking for money and started asking my mom normal questions, like how to store leftovers. Then she landed a full-time admin job out of state with relocation covered. The night before she left, an unknown number texted me, "I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to hear it." I replied, "Do better where you're going." She sent one heart, no speech. 3 days later, my dad called. Kayla left an envelope for me at my parents' house. Inside was a handwritten budget and one line that made my throat tighten. Payback, $17,432.17. Under it was a personal check for $75. Memo, first repayment. The amount didn't matter. The admission did. Months passed with no drama. Then she called right on time and showed me her tiny apartment and a whiteboard that said February budget. She showed me a repayment chart like it was a promise she made to herself. "I don't want to be the girl who breaks things anymore," she said. I answered, "Then keep going. She's still my sister. She's not magically fixed, but she's trying without applause. And for the first time in years, I don't flinch when her name pops up." What's your take? Would you have cut her off sooner or handled it differently?